Let me just highlight Nick Jankel's background and what I think makes him very unique, described as one of the UK's foremost collaborative innovation specialists, working with some very large companies and some very small companies, working with as diverse a set of organizations as MTV and NHS. So I think we all look forward to hearing his perspective on how you bring all of this together. Nick, good to have you with us.
Innovation is a mindset. It's a spirit. And therefore it's vitally important, and it's vitally important how to know how to encourage that spirit further. And one of the things that I'm very keen on is working out how to do that. Innovation is a mixing of the invention of new ideas and marketing of them. If you can't market it, it's not innovation. There's lots of crazy inventors out there, there are very few successful innovators. And unless you understand both your current customer or consumer and where they're going, or likely to go, or think where you'd like to take them, which is a different way of thinking altogether, you're not going to be successful in innovation. It's not going to happen. Memory. This is a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's an incremental innovation. Last year you got 500 gig, and then the year before it was 250, and then the year before that it was 5, and then it was floppy disks. It's been a slow evolutionary development. A lot of money to be made in bringing out a slightly bigger one, but it's not doing anything particularly exciting, and you can't really make that much cash with it. Then you have a radical innovation or a disruptive innovation. This happens to be the iSync concept, but there's many different versions of this, where you don't need memory anymore. You don't need anything hard. Everything that you have gets uploaded onto the cloud or the server. So I have this service. I don't really take cards anymore with me, or widgets or things, because it's all somewhere out there. I can use it on any of my computers. And it's a radical innovation. Once you've got this thing, this doesn't quite make as much sense anymore. Innovation is essentially a Sisyphean task. I think our 2 speakers this morning can testify to the constant, relentless demand on your personal being that innovation takes if you really put it into practice. And, if truth be told, it often fails. And if you are like a lot of entrepreneurs, like myself, like the guys this morning, you're putting yourself and your personal savings on the line. That's a lot to think about. There's probably no greater company on earth than Apple for commitment to radical innovation. It's trite, it's cliched, but it's true. And it's paid off for them. They're now a major player. If you look down there, they really weren't. They were thought of as forgotten, and they were, niche and strange. It's as much about letting go of things as it is about getting things. It's a really important point. It's as much about letting go of the way things could be done or should be done or have been done, the way I'm used to thinking, the way the market has been, as it is about having new ideas. Markets are basically saturated. You can't really grow many new markets in the West anymore, and a lot of the ones in the developing countries are also getting that way. Most people have pretty much everything they need. And nearly half of all the fastest growing companies in America were started in a recession. And that's because recessions are great times to get cheap labor and cheap office space and cheap equipment. So you can actually try stuff out in a recession better than you can try it out when the times are good. But research came out last year from the Judge Institute in Cambridge, published in the Journal of Marketing. They studied 4,000 firms in 17 countries. That's a lot of research. And they found it's not about process, it's not about investment, it's not about the amount of money you have, it's about your firm's cultural traits. Disney, which is a classically creative company, possibly a little less so now, but I won't talk about that. So creativity is one trait, archetype. Connectivity, this is Unilever, listening to your customers really a lot, maybe too much. and working out what they want and how you can tell them things in ways that they can feel empathic and go, oh yeah, I get it, I love it. So Dove, Lynx, these are all Unilever brands. Tesco's, unbelievable commitment to getting things done. And then what I call charisma, like Virgin or Apple, which tends to be a kind of integration of the other three, plus a kind of sense of leadership, a sense of drive and passion. If your team is missing one of these, or if you are missing one of these, I urge you to identify it and either develop it in yourself or find someone who can come and get involved and help. Because you're going to need these at some point. One thing you must remember, innovation is always collaborative. Even if you developed it all on your own, so you think, I guarantee it was through conversations with other people, even if they were dead. Because you were reading their books, and you were thinking about the things they've done, and that is a collaborative endeavor. Collaboration also means the fact that we now have distributed creativity. This is the kind of sea of MySpace and Facebook and Last.fm and all the different things that are going on in the social networking space. What that means for you guys is the creativity that you used to think you have to have in you, or in you and your partner, or you and your partner and the other people that work for you, it's out there. It's in your customers, it's in your suppliers, it's in the general populace. The question is how you get access to it. So there's a thing that you may have heard of called crowd co-creation or crowd creativity. It's using the crowd to develop your products for you. There's lots of examples of this, I'm not going to bore you with them. And it's also a part of what people are now calling open innovation. And there are some big companies doing this. They're saying, well, we don't have to do it ourselves anymore. We're going to get our customers, our suppliers maybe, some even our competitors in. And we're going to work with them to develop ideas that we couldn't have on our own. Essentially, innovation is about managing fear. The fear of putting yourself out there to your wife, to your husband, first of all, possibly. And then every other level of fear that you get when you put yourself out on an idea that someone will go, that's rubbish. And you walk away going, got energy down, and you go, ugh. Because most of us, certainly in the corporate world, live lives where this has been drilled into us. You can't really catch the ball. If you drop the ball, you'll lose your job, and your wife will leave and take the kids. But they've actually proven in some research last year that people who are intrinsically motivated, which is most good innovators, that means you get your buzz from doing it, because you like doing it, actually are less interested when you give them financial rewards, because it somehow makes them think, maybe there's something funny, you know, maybe it's not quite, you know, whatever. Rewards are important, profit sharing, all that stuff, fabulous, don't leave home without it, but it's not going to create the environment that you want, because you probably get the people who are most profit hungry are actually the least interested in nurturing and collaborating and thinking together and thinking differently. Why do we need to have a law? They should be doing that already. They should be feeling it in themselves and going, I don't want to do this, this is not right. So rules are really good when you don't have a culture, a strong culture, a positive culture. But unfortunately, the really way to develop innovation is in helping people be what I call responsible, which actually is not a moral term for me, it's about being able to respond. Something happens in the market, boom, do we get all scared and worried and blame everyone else? Or do we go, we can own this, and step up, let's create something differently? So for me, responsibility is inherently moving from a culture of reaction to a culture of creation. And they are anagrams. So, rather than wait and sit around hoping innovation is going to happen, my advice is build a grassroots innovation culture. Don't have big things, just start doing it by doing it yourself, by fostering it, by enabling it, by welcoming people's ideas and thoughts. And it's about minds. Innovation is about changing people's minds one at a time, both in your organization and in the marketplace. And I think that's probably a good time to stop. So,